A man was relaxing in bed watching TV, the room dimly lit and calm as he ironically filmed the film on the television. He'd been feeling uneasy for days, claiming small things in his room would be moved when he wasn't looking. Wanting to capture anything strange, he began filming.
Loco, estaba durmiendo, me acaba de levantar, loco, estoy cagado las patas. Fuera de joda me puse en alabanza, amigo. Estaba durmiendo y de ahí arriba... Mirá, boludo. No lo puedo creer. Necesito, boludo.
As he pans the camera toward his wardrobe, a box perched high up suddenly slides forward, pushing a can from the very top. The can bounces off the edge, and after bouncing somehow, landing upright on the floor, in full view of the camera, the man audibly gasps, his breathing sharp as he realizes what just happened. The clip cuts with him still holding the phone toward the wardrobe, the camera shaking slightly, as though he didn't know whether to get up or stay put. People online said the way the can landed upright added an extra layer of unease, making it feel impossible for the moment to be a coincidence. The following clip opens with bad quality footage under warm, dim lighting, giving everything a slightly grainy and uneasy look. The person behind the camera is slowly panning around the entrance of their house, trying to capture the full view as if they were documenting something already unsettling. If you pay close attention, just by the door frame, a pair of faint, ghostly legs can be seen walking past. They were transparent and slow, as though whoever it was wasn't fully there. The figure vanishes just as the camera tilts slightly, making it hard to catch, unless you pause at the right moment. Fortunately, the person behind the camera noticed, and the family is currently arguing whether it was a trick of the light or genuine proof of a spirit lingering in the home. Either way, the combination of the bad camera quality and the warm lighting made the moment feel even more surreal and haunting. Who knows what will happen next for the family? Sierra had just bought a new home, one with a reputation for being haunted, and decided to film a vlog about fixing it up. Alone that day, she climbed a ladder to start some small renovations, her back to the camera.
How did you get out there? Okay, let's try this again.
A few moments later.
There's no way that this is a thing. I don't think you understand. There is zero way that she could unlock that, open it, shut it, and lock it. How are you doing this?
Midway through her work, she suddenly heard the sound of something sliding across the floor, followed by what unmistakably sounded like a door shutting. Confused, she grabbed her camera and walked toward the noise, finding her dog waiting anxiously outside the door. She let him back in, but his behavior was off, and he seemed tense and unsettled, staring at the door as if something was still on the other side. Trying to shrug it off, Sierra set the camera back up and climbed back onto the ladder to continue filming. Moments later, the same sequence of noises happened again. The strange part was how the door had clearly opened, shut, and locked, without her or her dog near it. And with her dog being so small, there was no chance he could have done it. Whatever was happening seemed to be tied to the house itself, leaving Sierra visibly shaken as she tried to keep filming for proof. With the unsettling incidents piling up, Sierra decided to set up additional cameras around the house to see if she could capture anything else happening when she wasn't holding the phone. In one of the new clips, her sister and fiancé were in the nursery they were preparing for their upcoming baby, decorating the room and chatting quietly.
Where did you drop it?
On the paper.
Oh my god.
What was that?
What the hell?
A few moments later.
Out of nowhere, the nursery door slammed shut hard enough to rattle the walls. Both of them froze, staring at the door, before her sister cautiously opened it again and stepped out into the hallway to look for any possible cause. There was no draft, no loose hinges, no one else in the house. Trying to shake it off, they went back to work. But shortly after, while her sister was stepping into another room to grab something, the nursery door slammed again with the same force, startling them all over again. By this point, even Sierra's family was beginning to believe something was wrong with the house. She later explained on social media that everyone had agreed to stop working in the rooms alone, and the nursery remained unfinished. They were already discussing whether to bring in a professional investigator or even abandon the renovation plans altogether. A shaky video begins with a man sounding clearly frightened as he walks slowly toward his sitting room, breathing abnormally heavily while recording. The camera pans across the hallway before reaching the doorway, where the floor is littered with torn-up paper as though someone had scattered it everywhere.
Sí.
Once inside the sitting room, he films around nervously, the dull Christmas tree in the corner, adding an eerie contrast to the mess on the floor. Tiny orbs drift across the frame, faint but visible against the warm lights, making the atmosphere feel even heavier. As he sweeps the camera around, a faint female voice can be heard somewhere behind him. He spins around instantly, but there's nobody there, only silence and the sound of his breathing. He is desperate to escape, and the video ends as he walks out of the room, still filming ahead of him. He later posted the clip online, asking viewers if they could figure out what the paper might have been or why it was all over the floor. A mother received a ring notification at 10 p.m. and, thinking it might be her husband outside, opened the app to check the live footage. Instead of easing her mind though, what she saw made it impossible to sleep. At first, everything looked normal. Their driveway lit faintly, her husband's Porsche parked near the sliding door. But then she noticed something impossible, the faint image of a little girl in a dress standing perfectly still just behind the glass. The girl's outline was clear, not a reflection or a trick of the light, and she wasn't moving or reacting at all. For several seconds, the figure remained, frozen in place like it was watching. Then, without warning, the girl's shape slowly faded and seemed to dissolve back into the shadows, leaving only the darkness. The mother later said she replayed the footage dozens of times and still couldn't explain what she'd seen, and she's now convinced something unnatural is around her home. The mother decided to film an update in response to all the comments she'd received about the ring footage. In her video, she stood exactly where she had been that night, next to the sliding door, and panned her phone to show the area outside.
Okay, so this is the area, the door that it was like standing inside. We don't have anything or keep anything in this area because it's a walkway and it would be really awkward. And then this is where the security camera is. So when I looked at the footage, I expected to see a person. I didn't expect to see that though.
She explained that nothing is usually kept near the door. No statues, no decorations, no children's toys, nothing that could have caused the shape people were seeing. She then showed the camera itself, still mounted in the same position it had been during the original recording, to prove she hadn't moved it or staged anything. To make her point even clearer, she recreated the moment on camera, standing where the figure would have been, to show the height and angle were completely wrong for any reflection. Watching her run through the explanation only made the footage seem more chilling, because there really didn't seem to be a normal way to explain what had been captured that night. The Dark, an Arabic ghost hunter who gets paid to investigate haunted places, has been covered here before. But for you new viewers, he's known for boldly walking into some of the most terrifying facilities with nothing but a flashlight and a camera. In one of his more recent explorations, he was moving steadily through a crumbling building, his light sweeping across the eerie halls.
يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات. لا إله إلا الله. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. حصنت نفسي بلا إله إلا الله. بسم الله. لا إله إلا الله. بسم الله. بسم الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أنا يا جماعة أحس إننا محاصرة بجميع الجهات والله العظيم.
His tone was confident at first, but things took a turn when he suddenly stepped on something that crunched loudly beneath his feet, breaking the silence. Almost immediately after, a deep sliding sound echoed through the building. He spun around to see a massive storage unit slowly dragging itself across the floor. Whispering religious phrases under his breath, he steadied the camera and walked toward it. But just as he did, another unit on the opposite side began sliding in the other direction, followed by yet another further down. The sheer force of whatever was moving them was undeniable. What shocked many was his bravery. Rather than running, he pushed forward into the darkness, determined to document every second. For the continuation of this story, make sure you subscribe to me, because it only gets more intense from here. The following video was captured and uploaded to a YouTube channel named Parasomnia MX, with the name of the actual person behind it being unknown. It took place at roughly midnight, and he heard a loud bang from outside of his room, and due to being the only person living in the property, this was scary for obvious reasons. In case it was something little like his dog knocking something over, he went to investigate, but no matter what he thought it could have been, what it actually was definitely at the bottom of his predictions.
Okay, it's like midnight right now. I was sleeping on my couch and I heard a loud bang. I've heard it before, but I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was the dogs on the deck or something. But I think if I sit and wait, you'll see I just seen it. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is. There it is. It's my cupboards. Let's see. Holy shit, what is shaking? I'm just gonna sit here and videotape for a minute. See what happens. This is scary. Oh, holy shit. Holy shit. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh! Holy shit. What the? Okay. I'm cool. I'm cool. Then I get up and... Ooh, I'm just shaking. Look at my goosebumps. Okay. It's my grandma's old house too. It's old. I remember that light being on. Let's see what this looks like. I don't want to go too close to. That's just creepy. You have no idea. Like, there's nobody in my house right now. Like, nobody. I can hear something in that room. Okay. That's weird. What is that? Somebody's in that room. Ah! Whoa! Okay. Look at those goosebumps. I'm gonna go look. What's the worst that's gonna happen? Ooh, scary. There's like nobody in here. I'm freaking out, man. This is scary shit. This is really scary shit. I knew I could hear stuff before. But I don't know. It's so weird. Like I could hear it. Oh. I'm going outside.
Strangely, the cabinet continuously opened itself, and whatever was inside of it must have really drawn the spirit's attention. Furthermore, it drew the bead string entrance open a small bit, whilst the man was looking at it, which caused him to investigate, but nobody was on the other side. This is when he realized that he was dealing with a spirit, and instantly uploaded it to social media for people to offer advice. I hope that he got what he needed and that the ghost is no longer with him. On May 11th of 1993, at roughly 2 o'clock in the morning, one of John Osborne's house cameras detected something absolutely unbelievable. For the past few days, his family had been noticing really weird things happening around the household, and John, after seeking advice, was told to set up cameras in order to obtain more evidence. At first, he thought this was lazy advice that would lead to nothing as some spirits become camera shy. But fortunately, this spirit was not one of them.
3,000 miles away in Ohio, another family believes they're not alone.
The family had been hearing noises at night. They would wake up in the morning and find things moved, overturned, broken dishes and glasses.
Searching for the cause, the father leaves a video camera rolling overnight. This is his amazing videotape. Watch as the glass moves across the table, apparently on its own.
And then we see a typewriter move, which is not plugged in.
Next, a chair slides away from the table, and the reclining chair mysteriously begins to rock back and forth.
Then we hear the front door of the house, left of the rocking chair, open and then close.
John Osborne offers his opinion of these disturbing images.
I've watched it countless times looking for any evidence of foul play, and I couldn't find it.
From sliding a glass across the table to moving a literal chair, this poltergeist was doing the opposite of messing around. John was super fortunate to have caught this on camera, and a popular television station chose to broadcast it for a wider audience to see in the hopes that it would reach someone who could provide some decent help for the family. The most recent report is that they are searching for some sort of professional ghost hunter, but it's a big struggle staying within budget. Watching TV is a leisurely activity that many people across the world spend far too much time doing. The man in our next clip was by no means any different. In the build-up to the clip, he was watching his favorite television series for the third time, and no matter how many times he watched it, it never got boring. Unfortunately, something else must have liked the series too though, because it definitely got a bit too close for the man's liking.
God damn it. This is getting old. Son of a bitch. Oh, man. What the... Shit! You gotta come out. What the... Oh. Shit. I'm out of here.
Out of nowhere, some cutlery launched itself out of a drawer, so the man was forced to pause the show, stand up and investigate. To his dismay, there was nobody there, which left him very confused. But as he sat back down, he noticed what had caused it through a ghostly apparition that frightened him so much. I bet he soiled himself. To be honest though, I would too if I came face to face with an entity of that nature. When your house is haunted, the first step is trying to get in touch with any form of expert who can guide you in the correct direction to get rid of it. For some, this step is super simple, but for others they find something about it really hard, and that something is proving that they've actually been haunted. This is because a lot of poltergeists are actually camera shy. and don't cause as much havoc when placed ahead of a lens. But fortunately, Sergio, the man who recorded this, was eventually able to get some footage.
Buenas noches amigos, les habla su amigo Trovadoc. En videos previos ya les había comentado que han estado pasando fenómenos extraños aquí en la casa los últimos meses. De hecho los perros están muy acelerados ahorita porque se escucharon ruidos por el rumbo de la sala. Y aproveché ahorita para grabar a ver si captamos algo. Se ha escuchado movimiento. Hemos visto una silueta un par de veces y pues bueno, vamos a ver qué logramos y si logramos captar algo. Ay, cabrón. Aquí como ven no hay nada. Vamos a grabar donde estaban escuchando los ruidos. Debo de admitir que estoy un poco nervioso. Ahí se puede escuchar el perro, que está un poquito alterado. No se ve muy bien. No sé qué es lo que esté pasando. Lo que se cayó fue un muñequito de Santa Claus de los adornos de Navidad. Previo a esto, donde hemos visto la silueta pasar, puse talco para ver si lográbamos captar alguna huella. Ahorita voy a prender la luz a ver si se ve algo. Estos ruidos son ya sumamente frecuentes. Estas huellas evidentemente no estaban. Hace como una hora que puse el talco y van más o menos al rumbo donde está el Santa Claus que se cayó. Voy a parar el video porque voy a salir de la casa para tratar de ver que no haya nadie, que no se... Estoy un poco nervioso, compañeros, pero bueno, me despido de ustedes. No olviden suscribirse al canal. A caramba, los saluda su amigo Trovadoc y denle dedito arriba para motivarnos y seguir grabando este tipo de fenómenos, a ver si encontramos alguna explicación. Muchas gracias.
After watching some YouTube, the man heard a dog whining, and the most important part about this is that he doesn't even own one. Concerned, he started filming, and things happened in the following order. A cabinet opened, a doll fell from a counter, and he saw paw prints. All of these things together practically confirmed that a literal dog was haunting him, and these things are much harder to get rid of than actual spirits. I wish the man all of my luck. A duo under the YouTube. Alias, exploring with Josh, decided that they were going to go and investigate an old and abandoned secondary school that was rumored to be haunted among the locals. At first, the duo believed this was some sort of fake story made up by ex-students of the school, but they realized very quickly after entering that this was not the case. The walls were absolutely full with graffiti, but this should have been expected in an abandoned location. What happened next was far from expected, though.
Guys, so much doors are opening and closing right now. Sounds like someone hitting like a wall. I know, it really does though. Oh my God, did you get that on tape?
No.
That is insane.
Wait for two to get it.
Oh my God, another door just closed. Oh my God. We gotta get out of here. Holy shit, we're just standing on a... Dude, upside down crosses? Oh my God. Only he can't save. Can't save. Only he can save. This is insane. We can't be here that long. We're getting back to some dangerous shit, guys. 666 devil. Upside down cross.
Out of the blue, a door slowly creaked open by itself, and this creeped the hell out of the duo. Straight after this, 2 more doors down the hallway slammed themselves shut, and it was obvious that whatever was claimed to haunt this place had awoken. They escaped the facility as quickly as they could and published it for all to see, confirming that not all rumors aren't a fact. Dog Vlogs is a well-known ghost hunter, and what he does on YouTube is pretty self-explanatory. He visits locations that are presumed to have a haunted nature and documents them to see if it's true. This time around, he was checking out an abandoned hospital at night, and the scariest part is that he didn't have a single person with him. No crew, no friends, just him and his camera capturing raw footage, and this is what it got.
Yeah. You know, I'm not gonna waste my time if you're not gonna believe me. What? You cannot tell me you did not just hear that. Sounded like it was in this first room. If somebody's there, you better call yourself out right now. It was in this room, guys. Wait. See, this is exactly what I mean, guys. This is the type of stuff that was happening on camera that I said you weren't going to believe. I am tripping out. Yeah, I don't get it. If you're here, you better call yourself out. I'm gonna look behind all these doors and everything. I know it wasn't this far down. There's no way it was this far down. It came from this room. I don't get it. Hello? Did you pass away in the shower? Yo, what the f? No. There's no way. I'm filming. Something just touched my f***ing arm. I've got the worst cold chills right now. It is popping off in this hospital right now. I don't know, guys. I want to keep going, but I'm so scared right now. Alright, guys, we're in the main lobby right now, as you can tell. And I kept hearing some weird noises over here before I started filming. And then when I came back down to the lobby, all I keep hearing is noises. I looked around upstairs, did not find anybody that did that cough. But now I hear something down here. I'm back on the first floor. Let's go. This is actually... Hello? Why am I so cold down here? Sounded like a footstep over there. So, off camera, guys, this fountain was going off. As you guys can tell, this only works by touch. So, I don't know how that thing was going off. If anybody's here and you'd like to communicate with me, push those two little buttons right there and you'll make the water go off. You can use the water going on as a yes and keep it off for a no. Do you want to talk with me? Whoa. Seriously? Okay, calm down, calm down. Ooh, I just got cold chills. If anybody's here, do something to this fountain right now. Turn it on. I need a drink. I'm thirsty. Can you turn it on for me? I'm thirsty. Can you turn this fountain on? Oh, okay. No, no, no. I just got the coldest chills. Look at this. Oh, come on, focus. Oh my God. Good job, good job. Hold on, guys. I got my EMF detector. Let me check this. Alright, guys. I just got my EMF detector out. Whoa. Why is that? Oh, whoa. Are you kidding me? I'm getting so cold right now. If you're here and like to... Oh my God. Look at guys, it's a base reading of 0 all the way around. And as soon as we go to the fountain, it goes to turn on. If you're here, turn the fountain on. So, whoa. Okay, that is confirmed paranormal, and that's my cue to get out of here, guys. Whoa. Alright guys, on that note, hope you enjoyed the adventure. If you do, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm getting the heck out of here. That was crazy. The fact that it was going off on command with the EMF spikes. I'm just mind blown. But I'm going to get out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, cop yourselves and get out and do something merch. Links down below. Help support the channel. Keep the adventures coming. But I got to get out of here. I'm tripping out. Just so you know, it wasn't bullshit. It is now 3:50. It took me 50 minutes.
A noise could be heard somewhere in the hospital, and the YouTuber was able to correctly identify which room it came from. However, this was not the highlight. Later on, he found a tap that he claimed turned itself on, but wasn't able to get footage of. He had the sudden idea to ask the ghost questions, and used the tap as a means to get answers though, and it listened, which confirmed the hauntedness of the place, allowing dog vlogs to leave the scene with the questions answered. In the following video, a couple were filming an innocent Snapchat video to send to a group chat of some friends that they shared. It was because one of the friends sent a snap asking other people to show what they're up to, and it would be rude to ignore it, so they decided to send one back. However, little did they know how much it would frighten the group.
Bro, encontré la linterna. ¿Para qué la linterna igual si está...? Bueno, se apagó un toque la luz y ella ya tiene miedo.
Bro, basta.
Decí qué pasó, bro. Bueno, digo yo. Se cortó la luz y se escuchó como un ruido, un ruido. Y entonces Mili tiene miedo y ahora es como que tuve que traer una linterna para la nena. Arre que yo también me asusté.
Ay, puta madre, no hay internet.
¿Cómo que no hay internet?
¿No hay internet?
Dale, bro, contá.
Basta, bro, no insista, no quiero. No me gusta. Yo no estoy hablando de esas cosas.
Y ahora, bueno, ahora tiene miedo la nena. Yo ya estoy acostumbrado y quiero grabar. Ay. Se mueve. Ay, estoy temblando. ¿Viste? ¿Viste?
No, basta.
Se movió la
Basta, te dije que basta. Basta, bro, en serio, no me gusta.
Ay, ¿qué?
Capaz que fue Maki.
¿Cómo que fue Maki? La concha de tu madre, se movió eso.
No sé. Llamala. ¡Maki!
No, vos no grité, están durmiendo.
¡Maki!
No grité, anda a buscarla.
Tómatela. Bueno, vamos.
Vámonos. ¿Qué? Yo primero
Sí,
la concha
estúpido.
tuya. Ay, no, tengo miedo, bro.
Y bueno, pero yo también tengo miedo.
Anda
Yo
vos.
te dije que no hables. No, bro, no quiero.
Dale, abrimos la puerta un toque y
Basta,
vamos.
tengo
Abrimos
miedo.
y vamos.
Tengo miedo,
Abrimos
bro.
y vamos. Dale. Dale, dale.
Llamala a Maki.
Abrimos y vamos un toque.
La concha de su madre. Igual no.
Está la luz prendida, tío, la concha de tu madre. ¿Qué tenés miedo?
La concha tuya.
¡Cerró, boludo! ¡Ale! ¡Ale! ¡Ay, boludo! ¡Ale! ¡Ale!
En serio, bro. Ya fue. Llama a Andy.
Suddenly, the bells above the kitchen table started to chime on their own accord, and it was almost as if someone was there, gently pushing them. In order to further prove that this was paranormal, I'll also point out that the house had no windows open, or anything of that sort, so it could not have been the wind. After this, a chair moved on its own, which triggered the couple to close the door and hide in a room where it still didn't stop. It started to aggressively push against the door while they were still inside, which must have scared them like hell. Ian, better known online as the Midwest Ghost Hunter, has been featured on this channel countless times, traveling solo to some of the most haunted places in America. In this clip, he was exploring an abandoned theater entirely alone at night, a location with a long and unsettling reputation. Determined to get real evidence, he made his way down into the basement, a place local stories claimed even workers refused to enter after dark.
Time to explore the basement. Ooh, feels a lot creepier down here. Not gonna lie. Hello? Is there anybody down here? Nothing but eerie silence. A lot of cool artifacts. Anyone down in here? Creepy old fireplace. Oh my god, those sounded like voices. Hello? That legit sounded like people talking. Who's talking?
As Ian descended the final steps, the atmosphere thickened, and he began to hear faint noises echoing through the basement corridors. At first, it was unclear distant tapping or maybe shifting debris, but it grew more rhythmic, almost deliberate. He stood still, trying to pinpoint it, but the sound seemed to circle him. Make sure to subscribe because this story will continue in a future video. Konek had been fascinated by the idea of proving ghosts were real, and for this video, he decided to take things further by exploring a house long rumored to be haunted. Strangely enough, he even had a key to get inside, which left viewers wondering why or how he'd gotten it. Determined to document everything properly, he switched his camera into night vision and began carefully walking through the rooms.
Right, I'm gonna go check the one at house today. It's a haunted house. A bit scary. I want to prove it. I'm gonna go check it out, man. Gonna prove it. Oh, I should leave the door open. I should leave it open, buddy. Easier to escape. Just checking in on it. I ain't sleeping here at all. Fucking scary. I'm on night vision too. Oh shit. Everything is here. Yeah. Everything is here. Holy shit. No one's in there. Hopefully. Holy shit. Holy shit. I'm not scared. I'm not scared at all. I'm not scared at all. I'm not scared. Holy shit, I'm gonna close.
For a while, nothing at all happened. Just silence, empty spaces, and the echo of his own footsteps. Eventually, though, while moving through a long hallway, a door creaked open all by itself. Instead of backing off, he boldly stepped inside, repeating out loud that he wasn't scared. The room appeared ordinary, nothing strange in sight, so he turned to walk back out. That's when it happened. A chair suddenly slid across the floor directly toward him. Startled, Konek dropped his phone and bolted out of the house, his recording ending abruptly. Donnie is a ghost hunter who has spent years chasing activity in some of the most haunted places he could find. But this time, he wondered if the danger had followed him back home. For a while, his house seemed normal, but then small, unnerving things began to happen. He decided to film one night after noticing something strange above him.
The f*** is that shit? Oh, what the... Off. Fuck right off. Who's here? Who's here? puppy. Who's going up my stairs?
Hey, buddy. You okay? Who's here? Are you okay? Are you okay? Holy sh... This has got to stop.
A ceiling light began to shake on its own, swaying unnaturally, even though the air in the room was still. He flicked on the other lights in the room, but that one kept moving. Uneasy, he asked aloud who was there, hoping for a sign, but nothing responded. Trying to steady himself, he went downstairs, only to see another light fixture begin shaking in the exact same way. That was the final moment of this clip, and the clip does not end there. This story will continue, so make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss what happens next. Two family members were sitting together in the kitchen, talking quietly, while one of them recorded. They weren't filming for fun as they already believed this room was haunted and were waiting for something to happen. For a while, the kitchen stayed still, but then it happened.
Papu, el otro día estaba acá, viste, en la parrilla y empecé a escuchar ruidos, se movían todas las cosas, se movía todo, te lo juro. Sí existen, papi, sí existen.
Yo no tengo miedo a nadie, menos a un fantasma. Lo cago a trompadas si viene un fantasma.
¡Ah! ¡Ah! ¡Te dije que existe!
Out of nowhere, a dustpan with a long handle launched itself across the room, clattering against the floor. Both family members screamed in fear and bolted out of the kitchen immediately after the footage came to an end. A group of friends were exploring an abandoned building late at night. More for the thrill than anything else, the vibe was playful, with everyone laughing and joking as they walked around.
Shit, vad fan är det? Det är någon som håller emot. Är du dum eller? Håll inte på, vad jobbet? Kim, du får gå först, vad fan var det?
Alltså tänk om alla mina vet som är döda, jag har kommit ut.
Kolla vad häftigt.
Det är skitsnyggt.
Vill du också dra? Nej. Vad du dra? Det är alltså, du vet, det är sådana hund. Det är som skor, står det. Håll käft. Det var som dörren stängdes. Det ligger för en skor. Det är skor som ligger väldigt där. Jävla labyrint.
Vi går vidare upp. Vi går vidare hitåt.
Uppåt kommer vi ingenstans. Jag hittar det. Jag hittar det. Jag vet inte. Typ. Fan. Vad händer? Hålla i det. Jag tror detta är den sista gången.
Stanna!
Vi går igen. Fy fan. Det stannar. Det var riktigt läskigt. Släpp! Har du sett katt? Stanna tillsammans. Ja. Vad fan ska det? Vem fan var det? Men vet du vad? Det är de andra tjejerna som blir rädda.
Nej, nu är det bra. Stannat en sekund.
Nearby creaked open just a crack before shutting again. Strangely, none of them really reacted to it, so they just kept laughing and carrying on as if nothing happened. But as they wandered deeper inside, the fun atmosphere quickly shifted. Out of nowhere, a loud scream echoed through the building. This time, there was no ignoring it. The group erupted into nervous laughter, mixed with genuine fear, sprinting out of the building together, half terrified, but still laughing at the surreal experience. Who knows if they will ever go back again? A CCTV camera inside a tattoo studio recently captured something that left both the artists and clients stunned. In the footage, several items suddenly tumble off a bookshelf without anyone touching them, scattering across the floor. As it happens, one object even strikes a man sitting in the chair, waiting for his tattoo. He looks up in shock along with the rest of the room, clearly confused about how it happened. Despite the bizarre moment, the man was surprisingly calm about it all, decided to laugh it off, brush himself down, and go ahead with his tattoo appointment as planned. Sometimes even the strangest and most paranormal situations can't get in between a person and their tattoo. The following video took place in a kitchen, and it captured a chilling moment that left the homeowner more unsettled than ever. The camera shows a cupboard door slowly creaking open all by itself, the silence in the room making the movement feel even heavier. The person behind the camera doesn't say a word, just stands there in uneasy shock, as if waiting for more to happen. Fortunately, though, nothing else occurred. This wasn't the first time they'd witnessed such activity, and after repeated incidents, they admitted they're seriously considering selling the house altogether. Sometimes the weight of the unknown is just too much to live with, and you can't blame anyone for fleeing from paranormal threats. Ragalzu has been covered before for his unsettling encounters, and this next clip adds another layer to his story. This time he was in his kitchen, a room that looked almost too plain and uncanny, its emptiness amplifying every sound.
Sí, quiero ver. No les entiendo, perdón. ¿Querés ver? Sí, quiero ver.
He begins filming after hearing something that seemed to be speaking directly to him. At first, the words were unclear, but as he kept listening, he realized the voice was telling him to see something. Moments later, an object suddenly fell from the counter, and he captured it on camera while clearly shaken. The combination of the ghostly message and the eerie plainness of the kitchen only made the moment feel even more disturbing. Mr. Wright had set up a baby cam to keep an eye on his child, but what it recorded that night was far from ordinary.
Are you going in?
The footage shows a strange white, pale shadow moving slowly around the baby's room while the child cries in distress. At one point, the baby even stands up and stares directly at it, as if aware of the presence. The shadow drifts across the room before eventually fading away, leaving no explanation behind. According to Mr. Wright, the figure disappeared about a minute later, right as he entered the room to comfort his baby in such distressing times, though that part wasn't caught on camera. Whatever it was, the experience left him rattled, questioning if something was truly watching over his child. A man was working late one night on his small business setup at home when he started to hear a faint but repetitive knocking sound. At first, he thought it was just the house settling or maybe something outside. But as the knocking persisted, he began tracing the sound and realized it was coming from a cabinet across the room. Curious and slightly uneasy, he pulled out his phone and began to record.
Yo, I've been hearing fucking knocking sounds coming from this room. You hear that? Oh my god. What the fuck? Hello? Hello? Yo, what the fuck, bro? Hello? Hello? I'm fucking out of here, bro. Fuck this.
In the video, the cabinet door suddenly opens itself just a crack. He walks over cautiously, then opens the door fully, only to find it completely empty. There was no mechanism, no airflow, no trick, just an eerie silence as the camera catches him backing away. After the encounter, he decided to leave the workspace for the night. Though he tried to brush it off, he later admitted to friends that the moment felt unnatural, and he's been hesitant to work in that room after dark ever since. A man on TikTok had been relaxing at home when he heard strange sounds coming from upstairs. It wasn't the usual creaks or settling. It sounded like movement. Instead of brushing it off, he decided to film and share what was happening with his followers. Grabbing his phone, he headed to the top of the stairs and stood at the end of the hallway. Here is what he was able to capture.
Alright, tell me I'm a crack. Every time I turn off the light, there's like a shadow there. Watch. You see that? What the f? What the f? Tell me I'm not a crack, dude. Hell no. What the f? Dude, I'm out of here. Ma.
He pans the camera across the hall to show that no one is there, then focuses on one specific doorway. As he turns the light off, a shadowy figure appears in the frame, standing motionless. He flips the light back on, nothing. Off again, the shadow is back. He does this several times, each time getting more anxious as the figure disappears and reappears with the flick of the switch. Eventually, without saying a word, he turns the camera away and quickly leaves the house. After posting the clip, his followers were quick to flood the comments with theories, ranging from a trick of the light to something far more unsettling. The man later explained he had never experienced anything like that before, and still doesn't have an explanation. Since the video, he hasn't spent the night alone in that house and is thinking about moving out altogether if it ever happens again. Sherry and her co-worker were finishing up their shift at around 7:30 p.m., going through their usual end-of-day tasks at the crematorium where they both worked. It had always been a quiet place, professionally run, and nothing out of the ordinary had ever happened in all their years working there. The idea of anything paranormal seemed far-fetched until that night. While checking the security cameras, they noticed something strange on one of the monitors and decided to record it on a phone. The footage shows a body completely covered in a white blanket, resting on a stretcher in the prep room. Without warning, the covered body begins to shift ever so slightly, then more noticeably, as if something underneath was adjusting itself or trying to move. Neither Sherry nor her co-worker were anywhere near it at the time, and the room had been closed off. Both stood in stunned silence as they watched the movement happen in real time on the screen. The body was cremated the following day as scheduled, and no further strange activity has occurred at the facility since. Sherry later said they still don't have any answers, and they've chosen not to talk about it much around their co-workers. While it hasn't changed how they feel about the job, it's a moment they won't forget anytime soon. Dr. Kamal and a nurse were sharing a quick laugh during a short break, standing together in one of the quieter hallways of the hospital around midnight. Nothing had felt off up to that point. They were joking around as usual, and Kamal casually held his phone, already recording as part of a light-hearted prank he was planning on pulling. The moment was relaxed and normal, until it suddenly wasn't.
Es que te estoy enfocando a las boobies. No mames.
¿Qué?
Pasó algo.
¿Qué pasó? No mames.
A ver, ven. No mames, pasó algo, te lo juro que pasó algo, ¿eh?
Se mueve, ya se mueve.
Vete a la verga.
Yo no voy.
No mames.
While the camera rolls, a ghostly figure silently walks past an open doorway just a few feet behind them. It's brief, but the movement is clear. Both Kamal and the nurse stop mid-laugh, frozen. He immediately steps forward to check the hallway, confused and shaken, but finds no one there. Then, just before he turns back, a walking assistant that had been still in the hallway glides a few inches across the floor on its own, startling both of them again. The video left viewers stunned, and Kamal uploaded it mostly to get opinions on what they'd seen. As far as he knows, no one matching the figure's outline was anywhere in the building at the time. That part of the hospital had been empty. Since then, the two have continued working their shifts, but neither of them walks through that hallway without glancing over their shoulder anymore. Sabia has been included in one of the recent videos on my channel, and her story continues this time. In the last video, she had been experiencing all sorts of paranormal experiences in her own home, and this was because one had followed her when she visited an abandoned house with her now ex-boyfriend. She lived alone in this house and had no idea how to deal with the spirit, so had to knuckle down and deal with it. This video is a prime example of the sort of things that happen on a day-to-day basis for her. Take a look.
Dat lichtknipper er weer aan en uit en al. Oh, in het nieuwe huis. Helemaal klaar mee.
Oh. Ik durf echt niet. Donder op, ik ga daar niet naartoe. Ik bel wel iemand.
Once again, the spirit performed its signature act of messing with the lights before expanding its powers to whole different levels. From a swinging light to a ghostly apparition, this was shocking, and I really do hope that Sabia becomes okay in the future. Make sure to wish your luck too in the comment section. The man behind the TikTok account 1916 Haunting was excitedly giving a tour of his family's new basement. It was still a work in progress, but he was clearly proud of how things were shaping up. The shelves were neatly stacked with glasses of beer, and boxes were arranged all around, showing signs of an ongoing project.
Go straight down into this, and then after a while, you know, it sucks that out and pumps it out. And then here's a shower. This is actually what we're using. It looks super sketch, but it's actually really, really nice. Don't tell Emily, but there was a spider in it. It's actually really nice. This is what we use until we fix the upstairs shower. And then the very open bathroom with a random phone there. So if, you know, I'm doing business, I can still do business. And then washer, dryer, this, and of course you got the bar. This is a work in progress thing. Hey, what the
Suddenly, he hears the unmistakable sound of footsteps running down the stairs behind him. He quickly spins around, but there's no one there. The noise stops just as abruptly as it started, leaving only silence in its place. After uploading the video, he mentioned that this was only the beginning, hinting that there might be more unexplained activity to come as the basement project continues. The story is far from over. A few days passed with no unusual activity, and things seemed calm. Then, late one evening, the door handle to the sitting room started rattling unexpectedly. Curious, the man grabbed his camera to capture what was happening. At first, nothing stirred, but suddenly, the rattling began again right in front of the lens. He quickly went around to the other side of the door and searched carefully, but found nothing. No one, no sign of how the handle was moving on its own. Still puzzled, he decided he was going to start filming at random intervals, sensing there might be more to uncover in the days ahead. To try and catch whatever was causing the strange noises, the man decided to do another basement tour, hoping it would trigger the ghost again. He set up his camera and walked slowly through the space, narrating as he went. The atmosphere was tense, every creak and shadow making him more alert. Suddenly, something caught his eye.
Alright, so pardon the mess, but this is what I was telling you about, man. So, you got the toilet, and just the complete open. I mean, like I said, ignore the mess. We haven't done laundry in a while, but yeah, it's a completely open bathroom just in the middle of the... It's always something. Every single day. You heard it too? Yeah? I don't know what to tell you, dude. It's getting worse.
In the clip, a faint, ghostly figure walks silently just above him. It then runs down the stairs at a tremendous speed, and right behind it, a cat, previously unseen, follows closely. The man's quiet breathing can be heard as he watches this happen in disbelief. After the footage, the man felt a mix of excitement and unease. He knows this is just the beginning and plans to keep investigating, documenting every step. Whether this is a harmless presence or something more, he's determined to find out. The basement still holds many secrets, and he's ready to face whatever comes next. You'll have to subscribe so you don't miss any potential future haunter features for this man. Ragalzu had always carried a strange fear of the school he once attended. Even as a child, he felt that something darker than old brick walls and dusty hallways lingered within. The stories passed around about eerie noises, shadows, and even students claiming to have seen figures only deepened his suspicion. Now, years later, he decided to return with a camera in hand, determined to prove that the feelings...
Y aquí en la escuela cuando empiezan a ladrar los perros así a llorar. Ah, visto. Ahí empieza a joder, como a golpear. Todas las noches hace lo mismo. ¿Qué pasa? Tempranito empiezan a hinchar las pelotas.
As he stayed stationary, staring at the deserted corridor ahead, the silence was broken by dogs howling outside, their cries echoing unnaturally through the building. It set him on edge, and almost immediately after, the door ahead began to rattle violently. The shaking grew louder and more aggressive until, without warning, the door flung itself wide open. Ragalzu cautiously stepped forward and found only a bathroom beyond, empty and still. The fear set in heavy at that moment, and he admitted later that he felt something unseen had been watching him. The thought that a spirit might follow him home became overwhelming, and from that day on, he vowed never to step foot in that school again. Crisella Luna is well known for taking her audience into places most people wouldn't dare to go, and this time she set her sights on the infamous Hotel Posada del Sol in Mexico City. Locals warn against entering, especially at night, claiming the energy inside is too heavy to handle. In her own words, even retrieving the footage was difficult, as though the hotel itself resisted letting it be shared. She pushed forward anyway, determined to show her viewers what she found.
Ay, no. De verdad me siento perdida. Escucha. Por acá. Vamos a ver qué. Está escuchando. Ay, ¿dónde estás?
At 9 minutes and 47 seconds into the recording, while exploring one of the endless, decaying hallways, Criselle suddenly caught sight of what looked like a shadowy figure standing at the far end. Just before this, an odd, unsettling noise echoed through the corridor, sending chills down her spine. The moment her eyes locked on the figure, she spun around and bolted, her fear captured raw on camera. She later admitted that this was one of the strongest encounters she had ever experienced, and for many viewers, it cemented Hotel Posada del Sol's reputation as one of the most terrifying places she had ever visited. Subscribe so you don't miss her next appearance in my videos. Ranim was out walking her dog in a massive national park, enjoying the peace and quiet of being surrounded by nothing but nature. The paths were empty, and she hadn't seen another soul the entire time. At one point, to break the silence, she even joked to herself, "Imagine someone started chasing me." That's when things took a terrifying turn.
Somebody's chasing me down.
She turned her camera behind her, and in the distance, a tall, black, Slenderman-like figure stood clearly in view. Her voice shook as she said something was chasing her, the fear evident as she kept glancing back while trying to stay calm for her dog. The figure lingered unnervingly far down the trail, but it was enough to make her heart race. Luckily, Raneem managed to finish the walk safely, but the footage left everyone unsettled, wondering what exactly it was she had seen out there in the isolation of the park. A quiet night was broken by the sound of a baby crying, waking the father from his half-asleep daze. At first, he thought it was nothing unusual. Maybe his child just got a bit upset in the crib, but something about the sound felt different, off, almost like it was coming from somewhere else entirely. Worried, he got up and glanced out the upstairs window to see if anything outside could be causing the disturbance. Nothing stood out, but the uneasy feeling only grew. Determined to be sure, he made his way downstairs.
Son las 3 de la mañana, se están escuchando sonidos en la parte trasera. Oye, Ceci, hay algo allá abajo, ¿eh? Hay algo allá abajo. Sí. No, voy a ver. Está en el patio, güey. Déjame, voy a checar. No mames.
As he reached the living room, a pink rolling baby toy suddenly moved across the floor completely on its own. There was no one else there. No draft, no strings, just the toy gliding as though something invisible had pushed it. His breathing grew heavier as he turned toward the downstairs window, hoping for some rational explanation. Instead, he froze. Just outside in the garage, the curtains revealed a human-like head that could be seen peeking from behind the corner, its movement slow and deliberate, turning as if it knew it was being watched. It was far too uncanny to be human, as the proportions and the way it shifted were all wrong. The father quickly backed away from the glass, shaken and terrified, realizing that whatever had come near his home that night was nothing he could explain. Matty was stuck at home alone while his family vacationed in Cancun, staying behind because of his university schedule. He tried to distract himself by playing Call of Duty late into the night, but the calm was shattered when he noticed his bedroom door slowly opening on its own. At first, he brushed it off, but a chill in the air made him pull out his phone to start recording, just in case.
Bro, I'm playing COD, and look at this door! You cannot make this shit up. Look at this. Bro, nobody is home. My family is in Cancun, bro. You gotta be kidding me. Bro! What the Bentley? Bro, are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? What the Bro! Bro! Holy... Why is this door open? What the is going on?
The door creaked shut again without anyone touching it. Nervous, he rushed over and pulled it back open, only to hear the toilet flushing itself in the bathroom. His heart raced as he bolted to the landing, where the downstairs lights began flashing on and off in eerie rhythm. Gathering courage, he descended the stairs and walked into the kitchen, only to see the tap running full force without anyone near it. Shaken, he turned to leave the room, but froze when he spotted something even stranger. A door he swore had been shut earlier, now wide open, revealing only darkness behind it. Panic overtook him, and he ran out of the house barefoot, leaving everything behind. Later, he admitted he drove aimlessly for hours just to get as far away as possible, and even considered sleeping in his car rather than return that night. For Matty, what started as a quiet evening alone became the most terrifying experience of his life. Paranormal Tours is a very small ghost hunting channel, but despite the limited following, the passion for chasing the unknown is undeniable. In one of their most recent explorations, the host decided to investigate an abandoned school that locals had long whispered about. The building was falling apart, the kind of place where every creak of the floorboards and every gust of wind through the windows puts you on edge. Still, he pressed on, determined to capture something his audience would never forget. While walking down one of the shadowy halls, he suddenly heard a noise behind a door. Startled but pushing forward, he kicked the door open, expecting to find an animal or maybe just loose debris. What he saw, however, he immediately described as disturbing. Though the camera didn't quite pick it up, his reaction said it all. Moments later, he spun around and screamed, his lens catching something far clearer this time, a face appearing in a crack in the broken door. Not once, but twice. Gathering what courage he had left, he moved to check the other side, but when he got there, there was nothing waiting for him. He admitted in the upload that the experience rattled him badly, but he hinted this was only the beginning. Paranormal Tours promised that in future videos, more of the activity from that school would be revealed. Late one night, a man was sitting in his room when sudden aggressive knocking echoed from his front door. At first, he froze, wondering who could be at his house so late, but when he worked up the courage to check, things only got stranger. He walked carefully around the house, filming as he went, but every time he checked the doorways, there was absolutely nothing. No visitor, no sign of anyone lurking nearby. Instead, random bangs echoed from different corners of the house, sharp and startling enough to make him flinch each time. A few items had toppled over on their own, including a bin lying sideways on the floor, but there was no explanation for how they'd fallen. His fear escalated until he couldn't take it anymore. Panicked, he sprinted back to his bedroom and slammed the door behind him, locking it shut, breathing heavily as the noise outside continued in the dark. Later that night, just when he thought things had finally settled down, the terror picked up again. As he sat in his room trying to calm himself, the door handle suddenly began rattling aggressively, shaking back and forth for what felt like forever. Around 25 seconds straight, he sat frozen, staring at it, heart pounding in his chest, before finally working up the courage to unlock the door and open it once the rattling stopped. The hallway outside was dark and empty, but briefly after he stepped out, the knocking started again from further down the house, louder this time, echoing through the silence. Overwhelmed, he sprinted back into his room, slammed the door shut, and immediately got on a call with a ghost hunter, desperate for help with what he was going through. Most people would find seeking ghosts a horrible activity that ends up badly, no matter the result. Either you find one and end up running away in fear, or you don't, and end up scrounging around for hours just to go back home again. It's a loss-loss situation. However, some people find the hunt thrilling, especially clueless teenagers, and the ones in our next video definitely weren't on the bright side. They decided to venture deep into the woods to check out an abandoned house, but they failed to remember one thing. Houses tend to be abandoned for a reason.
Come on. Now be really quiet so we do hear him. No one talk, right? Yeah. Hey. Come in faster. I can feel. Right. What? Go in there. Where's the back? Wait, just here. Oh shit. Let's go. Let's go. We'll walk down there. Gotta walk down there. Oh, Dioko. Oh, shit, me hard. Yeah, let's go. We'll walk down. Yeah, I follow you. But, no, we don't see anything with the camera. Yeah, it's too dark. Yeah.
Not even a fucking window.
What?
It's a fucking window.
What?
It's just someone who's at the window.
Act?
Someone was at the window.
Was?
It's gone really bright now. Is the window after open?
No, it's the same.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Immediately after entering, they felt a strange vibe about the location and knew they were straight into the deep end without knowing how to swim. Very quickly after entering, one of them noticed someone or something had passed by the window, and due to being in such a remote location, this was bound to cause fear. After alerting everyone, they stared at the window for a brief moment, and that's when it happened. It slammed shut in one great motion, causing them all to run home, the smartest decision of the night for them. Every night without fail, a man would close one of the doors in the house because he didn't like giving his dog free rein of the place. It was an untrustworthy dog, and he was convinced that it would cause a mess if allowed outside of the sitting room at night, so he decided this was the smart alternative. Strangely though, over the past few weeks, he had been waking up to an open door, and at first he thought his dog had figured out how to do it. It was tall after all. However, one night when he was going to the kitchen, this theory was disproved. Whenever he shut the door, some sort of spiritual face pressed itself against the glass, and it was almost as if it wanted to escape. Paranoid, the man kept opening and closing the door in hopes that the poltergeist would perhaps disappear, but of course, it didn't. Eventually, he got curious and placed his hand against the glass to see what would happen, and it was mesmerizing, to put it lightly. The hand of the spirit pressed against the same place, and the man described a warm feeling filling his body. Perhaps it wasn't an evil spirit at all. Alex is a man who we have seen very recently on this channel, and the haunting that he is going through is one that many would not be able to handle. Quite a while back, his great-grandfather died of natural causes at 93 years of age, which was deeply saddening to the family. They thought that they would never see him ever again at the time, but little did they know Alex would. Last time, a noise led him to some keys that he did not know the purpose of, and he kept them around in case he figured it out. They were involved in this clip too, so take a look.
Okay, I just heard a loud bang out here. It's the middle of the night. Sounded like it was coming from the kitchen. Hello? Oh, shit. Hello? Is there somebody here? Is there somebody here? What the? Okay, so I just came out and saw this chair freaking slide by itself away from the table, and when I look at what was out on the table, or what I definitely did not put out here, it is my great-grandfather's journal, his old letters, those keys I found, and a photo album that I had not even known was here. This looks like an old, really old family photo album. And then this is a picture of my grandmother, my great-grandfather's daughter. So I'm freaking out right now. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't have gone to that graveyard. I don't know.
Again, the clip starts with a loud bang in the middle of the night, as if the ghost's only strategy is luring its prey into its traps. Today's trap was a moving chair that acted as a distraction to Alex, whilst it messed with something else. The ghost somehow gathered a bunch of great-grandfather-related items and placed them all on the same table, which was super creepy for Alex. He is almost certain the cause of this is his great-grandfather, but he feels like the tint of evil is way too high to be him. With the slight possibility of relation to the poltergeist, though, it was enough to make Alex put up with it for a bit longer, and he continued to gather video evidence so he could potentially connect some dots. One night he heard the infamous sounds from downstairs again, so as per usual, went to investigate with full awareness that a spirit was causing it. He was not aware, however, of how crazy this footage was about to be.
So I just captured something else on tape. While I was actually taking the tape, I did not notice it at all, but you go ahead and take a look at it and tell me what you think. Okay, I just heard a really loud noise coming up here from the same place where all the other stuff has been going on. Like something was dragging across the floor. Turn on the lights, like everybody says. Okay, come on. I know I heard something. I don't know. Let's see, I don't know. There's nothing here. Turn on this light down here. No, I don't know. Did you see it? Let's take a closer look. Yeah, so that is somebody peeking out from my laundry room. I couldn't get a good look at it, but I don't know. That definitely looked like somebody to me. And there's nobody there. I've already checked. Nobody who is pale white hiding in my laundry room. So I'm freaked out right now.
Unlike his past footage where the poltergeist does some creepy stuff with no explanation and mysteriously leaves without a singular way of tracking it, this time it showed itself. Later on, Alex sent it to some relatives to see if it had any resemblance of his great-grandfather in their eyes, as they knew him at a young state, and all of them said that whatever this was, it was definitely different and had an evil intent. Visiting a place that you have complete confidence in being haunted is something that only a psychologically insane person would do, and I would place the two kids in the following video in that category. They were both very young at the time, and their great-grandmother had recently passed away, meaning the family was in a state of despair. Unlike the rest, though, these children recovered within a week. They decided to visit her house in an attempt to contact her once again and hid the plan from their parents entirely. This is what went down at the location, so have a look.
Estamos aquí en la casa de mi bisabuela. Se fue la... ¿Qué es eso? Se fue la luz. Esta es la casita, porque... Y mi mamá... Espérense. Y mi mamá y mi abuela se fueron al Oxxo a comprar velas por eso, por lo que pasó de que se fue la luz. Y pues estamos aquí. Estas son las... Mi abuelito... Espérense, no sean chillones. No va a pasar nada. Y esas son las cenizas de mi bisabuelo, porque pues desgraciadamente él ya falleció. Y el baño está allá. El baño, mi hermano quiere hacer pipí, pero el baño está allá. Y mi abuela nos dijo que cuidáramos. Mi abuelo nos dijo que cuidáramos aquí su casa en lo que ellas iban. Pero espérense. Pero pues el problema es que aquí no sabemos. Y pues no tengan miedo. No pasa nada. Abuelito, si estás aquí, preséntate ante nosotros. Si estás aquí, preséntate ante nosotros. Somos tus nietos.
If you paid enough attention throughout the video, you would have noticed the two most frightening parts about it. First of all, a pair of bright, glowing eyes could be seen without a body, which is often a way in which evil spirits portray themselves to display mystery. Furthermore, some kind of black object kept swaying in and out of the entrance, and while it could have easily been some curtains, it could just as easily be a poltergeist. Ghost hunting can be more than a hobby. It can actually be a freelance job, and believe it or not, it pays thousands of dollars if you're any good at it. This next clip comes from a ghost hunter's exploration of a house that somebody was interested in buying and wanted it checked before proceeding with an offer. For quite some time, the hunter saw absolutely no sign of the paranormal, which meant he would make less money, so he kept going, until eventually he hit the jackpot.
Okay, everybody, hold still for a second. Hello? Can you talk to us?
Roughly 14 seconds into the sequence, some sort of apparition can be seen walking back into a room, and upon closer inspection, it looks like a child. After the clip ended, the hunter followed into the room, but to his dismay, things went back to normal. However, this was more than enough to prove the ghost's existence and pay the bag, so he walked home happy. The buyer with interest, however, not so much. There aren't many feelings worse than being called a liar, despite telling the absolute truth, and you can argue with that all you want in the comments. What makes this feeling even worse is when you have a weird entity on your back, and no one trusts that you're in the right state of mind, so you can't get help. This was the case for Alejandro, a regular Mexican man who wanted nothing but safety for his family, but this puts it at risk.
Bueno, esto está pasando en mi casa. Hay actividad paranormal, la puerta se azota. Hay cosas que se mueven. Vean mi papel de baño. Ya revisé y no hay absolutamente nada. A las plenas 4 de la tarde está pasando esto. Estoy documentándolo para mandarlo, que lo examine. A nuestros plenos ojos algo está sucediendo. La puerta se cierra solita. Bueno, la puerta puede ser por el aire, mucho aire. Sin embargo, de repente vean lo que está pasando con el papel de baño. Y es increíble que esté pasando esto a plena luz del día. Vamos a tener que mandar esto para que lo examinen las personas que se dedican a los fenómenos paranormales.
Regardless of the ghost not doing anything you could consider aggressive, Alejandro saw the potential and immediately went to his local place of religion to seek assistance. From this point and forwards, he will not rest until it is a guarantee the ghost isn't in his house. Small gatherings are meant to be fun and enjoyable times for friends and/or families, but this one was ruined by the paranormal world. All that a group of friends wanted to do was meet up at someone's house, play some games, and have a few drinks, but even that's too much fun for a ghost's liking. Take a look.
So the TV turned off right now by itself. This has been happening too.
Nah, dude. Something like that, dude, you gotta. I feel like I've seen that before. You gotta. Whenever since I was young, you gotta like call it out or something. Like. You just gotta
That
call
is
them,
fucking creepy,
literally, bro.
dude.
Just like, is anybody here? Is anybody here? It's like. No, you just anybody here? Sorry.
What was that? I think it was upstairs. It sounded like a big old bang. This has been happening, bro. Ooh, it's dark as fuck, dude. Oh, dude, it looks creepy. It looks fucking creepy up here, bro. Oh, shit.
Turn off down here.
Go. I don't want to come up here,
The
bro.
light just turned off down here.
Holy.
The light over there just turned off. I'm not even joking. Yeah, I think we should.
Let's just go.
We should just get out of here. The light just turned off down here. Yeah. The light over there just turned off. I'm not even joking.
Should we just go?
Yeah, I think we should leave. I think we should just get out of here. Honestly. Honestly, I'm not even grabbing nothing. I'm just gonna go. Can we just go?
It rudely interrupted by tampering with the lights and moving a television remote completely by itself. The camera had the whole remote in shot, so there was a 0% chance it was anything but a ghost that caused this. The gathering had to stop early, and it's safe to say none of them could rest properly that night. Dom was in his room late at night, just winding down after a long day. The house was quiet, too quiet, and he was just starting to relax when he noticed something strange. His bedroom door began opening and closing on its own. Hesitant but curious, he grabbed his camera and waited.
Guys, like, what the heck? I'm home alone right now. I'm literally like shaking right now. And my door keeps on moving by itself. There's like no windows open or nothing. And I'm definitely home alone. Like, what the? Oh my, what the? Hello? Hello? Is anybody in here? What in the heck? Hello? I swear you bet. Hello? You better not be pranking me right now. What the hell? Oh!
The door swung shut again, and Dom quickly got up to see what could be causing it. When he looked, nothing was there. Shaken, he turned back toward the hallway, but then another door down the hall slammed closed. Heart racing, he ran over and opened it, but to his dismay, the bathroom was empty. The house was silent once more, leaving Dom unsettled and unsure of what he had just witnessed. After this, Dom said he spent the rest of the night on edge, constantly checking the doors and considering calling a paranormal expert to figure out what might be haunting his home. The next day, Dom went about his routine, relieved that nothing else had happened. He passed it off as a one-time strange occurrence and tried to convince himself the house was normal. But that night, just as the clock struck midnight, he was jolted awake by a chill running through the room. In the dim moonlight, his camera captured a shadowy figure, half hidden, peeking out from his closet. Its shape was disturbingly human, yet something about it seemed wrong, demonic even. Fear rooted him to the spot for a moment, but adrenaline pushed him to get out of bed and check inside the closet. After it vanished back into the darkness, the space was empty, leaving him shaken and unsure of what he had just witnessed. After this terrifying encounter, Dom said he spent the rest of the night too scared to sleep, constantly glancing at the closet and considering reaching out to a paranormal expert. He admitted the experience left a lingering fear that his house was far from the safe haven it once was, and he began contemplating steps to protect himself from whatever unseen presence seemed to be haunting him. Rosanna was asleep one night, peacefully as ever, when she was abruptly woken by a series of loud, piercing screams that echoed through the house. Groggy and startled, she grabbed her camera to record what was happening.
Small.
The screams were audible first, sharp and chilling, and then her bedroom door began opening on its own. Terrified, she quickly shut it, only for it to swing open again almost immediately. Hesitant but compelled, she stepped out of the room, and that's when something even stranger appeared. A small, black blur in the bottom right corner of the camera frame. The sight was sudden and inexplicable, causing her to stumble back into her room, unsure whether what she saw was a ghost or some other unseen force blocking her path. After this, Rosanna said she felt exhausted and unnerved, unsure if she would ever understand what had visited her that night, and that the experience left her shaken well into the next day. Mykolenko, one of the most skilled ghost hunters out there, had been doing this long enough to know when a location would be bad. This time, he was searching a dark, decrepit house, hoping to secure a payout from a client who wanted proof of paranormal activity. He already suspected the place was haunted, but he didn't expect just how intense it would get.
Резко свет. Все, батарея разряжена. Только включил.
As his camera rolled, a cupboard creaked open just an inch on its own, followed moments later by a cabinet swinging fully open with no one near it. Then, almost as if whatever was in the house was trying to stop him, the battery on his motion detector suddenly died, cutting short what felt like a major paranormal surge. Mykolenko left with undeniable evidence and once again, a satisfied client who paid him in full. Subscribe because Mykolenko will be appearing in future videos. Eiji and his wife were fast asleep when a series of strange noises jolted them awake. At first, they couldn't quite make out what they were hearing, but the more they listened, the more it became chilling. It sounded almost like demonic laughter, mixed with the faint cry of a baby.
Cobalah dicek. Apa? Kan ada apa-apa.
As the camera recorded, the unsettling noises continued before the carpet covering a lamp suddenly got launched away, sending the lamp crashing to the floor. The couple froze, unsure if they should run or investigate. In the aftermath, Eiji said they barely slept that night and have since been debating whether to bring in a paranormal investigator or simply leave the house altogether. They decided against getting an expert because their budget was too low, and for the next few days, nothing out of the ordinary happened. They thought they were safe, but when Eiji went to his boxing gym, things took a terrifying turn.
Ada nyala, Cok, nggak ada orang.
While hitting the punching bag, he suddenly heard a piano playing from another building. He followed the sound and found the piano playing entirely on its own. As he searched for a possible explanation, a strange noise came from a nearby closet, eerily similar to the laugh from before, sending him running. They are now contacting a priest to deal with whatever is haunting them. Jeff was going about his usual day when he suddenly heard some clattering coming from his kitchen. Curious, he went to check it out, camera in hand.
Just sitting around here waiting for something to clean. Need something to clean. Anything over here? No, nothing in the sink there. How about over here? No, nothing there. Over here? No. People, need something to clean here. Let me take a closer look. Anything down here? No, nothing there. Alright, let me check over here. God, I'm bored! Something to clean, please!
His kitchen tap was moving on its own, twisting and swiveling like it was searching for something to clean. Instead of panicking, Jeff couldn't resist joking about it, narrating the tap with silly voice lines like, "I need something to clean," and mimicking its motions. The comedic energy seemed to affect the situation. After a few more moments of playful banter, the tap stopped moving entirely, as if the spirit had been amused enough to leave. Jeff laughed it off, but remained cautious, keeping a camera nearby in case the kitchen decided to get playful again. The light-hearted approach was enough to end the encounter without needing any outside help. The following video took place in the house of Tommy Wells, and it was terrifying to say the least. He had been experiencing paranormal activity for a period as long as a month at the time of this recording, and it really was beginning to get too much. The things that this spirit was doing could not be written off as torment. This stuff was torture, and the next few videos on this channel are going to prove that, starting with today's. He and his wife set up a camera late one night to see what they would be able to capture, because they had documented their hauntings on YouTube for a while now. Fortunately, the ghost was still happy to showcase its powers in front of a camera.
I'm so glad we went and got this camcorder.
Is it working good?
Yeah, it's working real good.
Good deal. You got good color and everything?
Oh yeah, I like it.
Good deal. Might be one of the best investments we ever made, man. Wish we had it in here earlier tonight when all that bullshit was fucking going on.
Yeah, I know, we could have got it on camcorder then.
Had been awesome as shit.
Yep.
Oh, about ready to turn in and hit the bed?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
It's about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the friggin' morning, probably.
God.
Look, listen.
What is that, baby?
Goddamn weed.
Oh shit.
God damn it. Hold on, Jerry, real quick. Watch out.
Okay.
I'll be straight back, man.
Okay. Oh shit.
What is it?
That noise.
Get out here with me. Come on. Jerry!
Where's Jerry?
Jerry! His lights down. Get over here, man! Take it easy. What the fucking thing going on?
I don't know. I really don't know. What the hell was that? What was that?
That didn't sound like a damn pit bull got scared right there. I was right there raising hell. Just come with me and see what. Who the hell's in here? I'll check on Jerry. You can't see these. Call him or something. Get him on the phone or something. Call him. He ain't over here yet.
This time, its most prominent showing was playing the piano, and you could tell it's been able to play this thing for years. Unfortunately, this was not the time for piano fun though, because it creeped the living hell out of the woman and Tommy. The most frightening part about all of this though, is that it is only the beginning and a long, treacherous night is ahead of them. Subscribe so you do not miss Tommy's future appearances on Haunter. The following video was captured towards the end of a paranormal investigation conducted by Ryan and his friend. They were both visiting a known site for paranormal activity called the Adrian, Michigan Ghost Trestle, and none of them actually thought anything would happen. Throughout, though, they were surprised as many haunting things took place, and eventually they came to the conclusion that they needed to leave or something terrible could happen. As they were about to exit the facility, a car drove past them, and then this happened.
There. Oh, shit. All right, I'm turning on the app. He just grew. Oh man, that's freaky. I just got the chills up my f***ing spine. Oh, here comes the car.
After the incident, we decided to leave. But as we were leaving, a car drove past us, and we caught one last spooky moment on camera. Did you see it? Let's show it again. At the time, me and Trent were the only ones there, and yet there was this shadowy figure underneath the trestle as the car passed. Neither of us saw it at the time, but as I was editing the video, I noticed it, and I instantly got goosebumps.
Strangely, a ghostly figure was standing beside the car, and it is important to know that Ryan and his friend were the only two people in the vicinity. What's even spookier is that neither of them actually noticed this appearance at the time, and it was only while editing footage that Ryan exposed this bizarre phenomenon. The Hammerly family have been dealing with strange paranormal activity for a while now, and regular viewers of their TikTok page or this channel will likely remember some of their earlier experiences. From moving objects to unexplained noises, the haunting hasn't shown signs of slowing down. This time, one of their followers left a comment suggesting they confront the ghost directly, half-jokingly telling it to pay rent or get out. Not expecting much, the father of the household decided to give it a try.
Guys, we'll get the tour still from our task as well.
TikTok says you need to get out or pay rent.
Sitting casually on a chair, he speaks directly to the air, saying, "Either pay rent or leave." There's a moment of silence, and then suddenly, a large canister behind him tips over and crashes to the floor. He doesn't jump or scream, just freezes completely still, staring ahead in stunned silence as the weight of what just happened sets in. Afterwards, the family admitted they hadn't expected any sort of response and were shaken by how quickly and clearly the ghost reacted. They're debating bringing in a spiritual expert or medium, but haven't committed to anything yet. If this is how the spirit reacts to a simple joke, they're left wondering what it might do next. After the canister incident, the Hammerly family went a few days without anything strange happening and started to believe, maybe jokingly, that the ghost actually listened and left. The house felt calm for once, and they were almost ready to move on from it entirely, but that quiet didn't last.
Go away. Go away!
The wife was cleaning up in the kitchen when something small but unsettling happened. As she stood at the counter, a tissue dispenser subtly slid across the surface on its own. She paused, a little startled, and aggressively told it to go away. Then she reached over, pulled a tissue from it, used it, and placed the dispenser back in the same spot. Almost immediately, it slid again in the exact same direction, same slight movement. She froze, clearly unnerved, and just stared at it for a second before stepping away. Afterwards, she told her husband what had happened, and they both agreed it felt more deliberate this time, like whatever's in the house was testing boundaries, or making sure they knew it hadn't really left. With the ghost seemingly interacting with both parents now, the family is back in the same place they were before, uncertain, a little on edge, and seriously considering bringing in someone who knows what they're dealing with. Chamos is the name of a YouTube channel with over 1.5 million subscribers, and in the video that I am about to show you, they caught something unreal. One day, they decided that they were going to visit a haunted location called the Abandoned Hospital of Cambay, and they all believed that this place truly was a hellhole. Little did they know this theory would be proved so easily. All the way through the night, terrible things happened, but the people on the mission were extremely brave and knew a ghost wouldn't harm them. This is the most frightening thing that was captured.
Viu?
Não queria lembrar.
Não queria lembrar, eu entendi alguma coisa, a mulher de branco.
Mulher de branco? Tem uma mulher de branco aqui que vaga nesse local? Ó, olha só.
O cara tá estourado, ele tá aqui perto.
É, cara do céu, velho.
O cara tá estourado, ele tá aqui perto.
É, cara do céu, velho.
Just as they were discussing a white ghost that haunted the walls of this place, the man behind the camera panned to the side, and some sort of apparition could be seen taking cover. The truth is, we will never know if this was the exact ghost they were discussing at the time, but this event was rather frightening regardless. William Davies had only discovered his house was haunted about a week ago, and ever since then he'd been dealing with constant, unexplained activity. Objects shifting, doors creaking without reason, and strange noises at all hours had started to wear him down. After enduring a full week of this, he finally decided he needed proof, not just for peace of mind, but to help convince others that something really was going on.
I don't think that's supposed to happen. Whoa. I want to see this impressive newspaper come off the shelf. Says I'll get right back. Go on then. Press it. Ooh, but you know, how is it old? How is that possible? Strange choice of newspaper, though.
He set up his phone and started talking aloud, encouraging whatever was in the house to show itself. After a tense pause, a folded newspaper sitting on the edge of a nearby table suddenly dropped to the floor on its own, with no breeze or visible reason for the movement. William jumped slightly, not out of fear, but out of validation. This was exactly what he needed. Afterwards, he shared the footage with close friends and even reached out to a local paranormal group for advice. While he's still not sure what exactly he's dealing with, the moment marked a shift. He no longer feels like he's imagining things, and now he's not facing it alone. Memoria Sobrenatural, NC, is a ghost hunting team that's seen a lot over the years, but one of their members recently got called out for something a little different. A real estate agent, interested in flipping an old, long-abandoned house, wanted a paranormal check before making an offer. The building had a history, but nothing officially documented, just word of mouth.
Olha isso é espetacular. Vocês viram? Minha nossa, cara. Dá uma olhada nisso. Cara do céu. Você é louco, mano. Vocês viram isso, mano? Vocês viram isso, mano? Opa! Opa. Cara, é espetacular ou não é? É espetacular ou não é o que houve ali, ó? É espetacular ou não é o que houve ali, ó? Rapaz do céu.
The hunter walked through with a flashlight, narrating the condition of each room. As he entered one in particular, a chair in the middle of the room suddenly slid several inches across the floor, all on its own. His breath caught as he backed away, clearly shaken. The camera shook slightly as he tried to stay calm, but ended up repeating the words, "Oh my God," in panic. Eventually, he left the room out of fear, but instead of backing away into safety, he backed himself into an even more bizarre room.
Se existe algo aqui próximo a mim, que se manifeste neste momento. Ai, minha nossa. Tá, bexiga. Olha isso. Olha isso, mano. Cara do céu. Opa. Minha nossa vida. Rapaz do céu. Que é isso? Que é isso?
This room was far more haunted, and lots of stuff was happening inside. The team reported the footage back to the real estate agent, and they immediately deemed the house to be off limits, because who would buy somewhere as frightening as this?